Hi everybody, I'm going to be going live. You should be getting your notifications here in a second. So I'm going to wait. I know I'm a couple minutes early. So I'm just going to plug in my stuff and get ready. So if you want to learn how to make these awesome little cotton balloons, that's what I'm going to be making tonight. Oh, I already have 3. It's awesome. My dog is being annoying already. She's wanting her bone that I have sitting here. You're good. Go. Keeps her busy during these videos. Alright, so if you're watching, I know it looks like I have 4 of you already. Hi, how are you, Paula? So you'll need a couple things tonight to do this if you're going to do this along with me. There are a couple like quick things that you might even just have setting around. 1 pine cone, just an everyday pine cone, nothing special. Cut a couple of cotton balls. Oh gosh. You'll just need about 2 of those, that's plenty, and a hot glue gun. And then also go out in your backyard and you can get a twig, doesn't matter when it looks like a stick, anything like that would be fine. So if you want to do this with me tonight, you know, you can go out and grab those if you have them sitting around. If not, watch the video and you can always come back to it and do this on your own time as well. So I'm just going to give it a couple more minutes here. Let me see what time. Okay. And I'll try to keep up with everybody's comments again. Been doing pretty well with that. Haven't been bombarded, so that's good. So if you have any questions or anything, please feel free to ask. That way, you know, I can answer them while I'm live. If you miss me on here live and you still have questions, just send me a message or comment. I'll still get it. So I'll give you another couple minutes here if anybody else wants to join, and then we'll start. Hi, Laura. My little sister's watching. Love the support. Every time I log on here, she's like the 3rd, 4th person to always log on. Same with my cousin Justine. She's like always the 4th. Yeah, you still have yours. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I made these a long time ago and I ended up throwing them away, I think, and then I just decided to make them again. I figured it would be a cool project for on one of the live videos. So, alright, let me see. We can go ahead and start. People can rewind if they need to. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of take you guys over here real quick to kind of show you. I'll plug my phone. Just bear with me. Okay. And so this is kind of what we're making today. This is one of the bottles that I showed on one of my previous live videos. So if you did want to kind of make one of those, the twine wrapped bottles, you can go back on my page and it should be one of the top videos that's on there. The other one was, of course, the coffee filters, which I think everybody kind of knows about already, and that's on there as well. So these here are our next project for tonight. They're just the little cotton blooms. They're pretty fun to make, actually. A little bit more messier, but fun. So, alright, now that you guys kind of get an idea, and you can make as many of these as you want. I didn't go crazy with them just because, you know, I've made them a billion times. So, but this is what they look like, and pretty cool and fun to make. Alright, so I'm going to head back over here to the table. Put you guys on my little phone stand here, which I had to hot glue together tonight because I broke it. So if my phone falls, I'm sorry. Okay. Angle that down here so you guys can see. Alright, so like I said, when I logged on here, you'll need a hot glue gun for this, extra glue stick. You won't use a ton of this, so, you know, maybe like 1 or 2 glue sticks if you have them. You'll need the pine cone. This can be from wherever, does not matter, just a pine cone. Yes, you hear my dog in the background drinking. She's been extremely needy tonight, like bad. Plug you guys back in here so I don't lose any power to my phone. That wouldn't be good. Yeah, Lainey is an extremely needy dog. You want to say hi? You say hi to everybody? Say hi. Right here, look. Yeah, she has no clue. She doesn't understand the phone concept at all. But she's a very needy dog. So you'll see her in and out of these videos, I'm sure, just nudging my arm, seeing what's going on. So she's like a child pretty much. All right, so back to what we need. Hot glue gun, you need that. You'll need the pine cone, and you'll need some cotton balls. You know, it could be from anywhere, so doesn't matter. All right, and a twig. I guess you need that too. That might be kind of helpful. All right, so to start, these are the twigs that I kind of found in my backyard. It's winter, it's ugly out, and there's not much to pick from. So these were kind of the only ones I had to pick from in order to do this video, which I don't really like these because these are too, like, they have too many branches on them for what I'm trying to do with these. So I was just removing some. Let's see here. I'll take a couple of these little ones off because you don't need all of these. You'll just need a few. If you ever look at the cotton blooms, they're not very, like, there's not too many different little, like, twigs and stuff on them. They're just pretty simple. I think the last ones I did a while ago were a thicker branch with less little things everywhere. So I'm just gonna remove some of these so it doesn't look as full and there's room to put some of this. And these I had, I knew I was going to be making these, so I did hang some of these in my basement to dry, so that's why they're so easy to break off of here. These things are pretty stiff. There we go. Take that one. That one looks a little bit better. Okay. Alright, so I removed a lot of these little branches that were on here just to get it so you can see more of the little blooms. Mary, I am making the cotton balloons right now. This is what they look like. It's just a cool little DIY project. So if you're looking for something to stick in like your vases for decoration, this is a good one. It's simple, it's easy, it doesn't take a lot, it's like next to nothing to make. You just need a stick from your backyard, a couple of the cotton balls, and glue stick, and also a pine cone. That's it. So I'll be teaching you guys how to make those today. So I did kind of go over my branch and removed any of the little branches that I did not like off of it. It looks a lot better, and as I go I'll probably remove some more just because, you know, it just depends on where you're placing them. So first step, I'm going to get all this extra stuff out of my way here. Now these are messy, so if you are doing them, I would do them on, I have like paper down just because of the hot glue. And when the hot glue mixes with the cotton balls, it is a mess because it just sticks. If you get it on your fingers, it's sticking. So I'm just going to kind of clean up as I go. All right. So what you want to do first is get your pine cone after you have your little twig stick ready. And the easiest way that I found to do this, because we'll need just the little pieces of the pine cone. I've tried cutting them, I have tried breaking them off from the bottom, and each time like I either crack them or break them, and it's just kind of a disaster. They kind of just crumble. So the easiest way I found to do this is start at the very top. So you're going to kind of go against how they're shaped. They're kind of growing out kind of from the inside out, of course. So you're going to grab one and you're just going to kind of peel it up and break it off from the top. So let me see if I can get a little bit closer here to the camera just to kind of show you guys what I'm doing here. So I'm going to grab this one. There's nothing over top of this one. This is the last one there. And I'm just going to pull opposite direction. And you can kind of see how they come off nice and intact, and they're not chipped, broken, and they're not crumbling. So that's a big thing with this. I tried many different ways on trying to remove these from the pine cone. I ended up trying to cut. I'll just kind of show you guys what happens when you're trying to cut them off. So this is how I started, was like, oh, I'll just cut these and it should be easy, right? Well, when you cut them, well, they go flying, and then you actually do not get the full piece off of there. You can see how half of it's still on there. And this is the piece that you want. You want that like little stem of the little pine cone inside there. So you want the full stem. You can kind of see where it was attached to the actual middle of the pine cone. That's kind of what you want. It makes this a lot easier. There's string on my thing and it is driving me nuts. I'm just gonna cut it real quick. Okay, so I'm just going to peel a couple of those off. Once again, just peel against that and you'll get the whole thing. And again. So really, I probably won't use this whole pine cone for just this one branch. That's why this craft is so nice. All right, good. Good, okay. And that one there. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of get the ones I have here and we'll start 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Okay, one more. So you're going to use 2 of these for each little bloom. So make sure you kind of have yourself out an equal number before you start hot gluing. And you can always stop in the middle of this and add more. So I have quite a few out now. All right, so let me see here. I have another comment. Mary, if you're asking where I am right now, I'm in Johnstown, PA. Trying to start my own little business here. But yeah, it's a little area. We're not huge. There's not a lot of people and it's just quiet here. So right now it's like the dead of winter. We're not having a lot of snow and everything. So I was able to go out and collect the things I needed for this little project. All right. So second thing here, after you have your pine cone all ready, you're going to start. So you can pick anywhere on your branch to start. I try to start at one side and work my way over. That way you kind of see how it's going to look. There is no perfection in this because especially if you're doing a couple branches, there's no need to like measure and decide which branch you're putting on what. Just throw them on there wherever you think they look good. Okay. So I'm going to get my hot glue and I'm going to get one of my little pine cone petal things, I guess I can call them petals, right? Pine cone petals, sure. All right, and I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue, and you want to look at your pine cone. So this is the outside. See how there's that different color, brown, like light brown and then brown. This is your outside. So when you do the hot glue, you want the hot glue to sit on the inside. And you can kind of see if you look at the pine cone, little petal things, you can see the inside versus the outside. The outside's nice. That's the side that you want to use. Inside is where you're going to use your little dab of hot glue right at the base there. Hopefully, maybe I can kind of see this here. There we go. All right, so just a tiny bit of hot glue. Oh, I have something stuck to that. And then you're going to get your limb, little tree limb, and you're going to glue it right there. Okay. Now I'll do this one kind of like this so you guys can kind of see how this is going to go. And then the hot glue will glue and dry, hopefully. Maybe. It's hard for me to see because I'm pointing it towards you guys. Okay. Good. All right. So that'll dry. I'm just going to hold it for a couple seconds. But that's your like one little petal there. Okay. There you go. I think it should be dry enough. All right. So any extra hot glue, you are going to kind of have hot glue dripping from these just because you're going to be pressing and squeezing, and like I said, it's kind of a messy little craft here. But you can see my hot glue there at the end. I will remove that after I'm done with this petal. Kind of at the end I go through and I just kind of touch it up a little bit. All right, so that's your one side of your bloom. You can kind of see too with these pine cone petals is what I'm calling them, I guess. They have like an arch to them. So if you look, you want that arch to go out. So you want it to shape like this and shape like that in order to fit your cotton inside. So when I put this on the other side, which I will show you, remember the nice side needs to go out. So I'm going to get my hot glue gun again. I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue again right there, right where I had it. And I'm going to get my next little petal and I'm just going to place it opposite. So they're both going like this and like that. And you're just gonna kind of hold it until that glue dries. So it's gonna look like it's almost like a little mouth, okay? So that's what you want it to look like. Those little things are on the outsides of that. Good. Okay, so that's dry. So that's number one there. And like I said, I'll go back after all this and get and remove that glue. All right, so I'm gonna start on my next one. I'll do one like right here. That's up to you guys if you want to glue one side and then the other. I know when I started doing this kind of myself, and it's hard to show you on the screen, hold this and then do this all, but I was just putting a dab of glue on both of these and then just pushing them together on this. It's a little bit faster. Let me see if I actually have, grab a bottle and see if I can do this. Okay, let me see, something to hold this here. Maybe this might be worse. No, that might work. Okay, there we go, that's better. All right, let me see here. Yeah, this is perfect, Jen. This will actually work really well. If you have this stuff lying around like I did, this is an awesome project. It's really, really cool. I actually had a lady, I was having a garage sale one summer and I had made these and put them in like a real pretty vase thing, and I was just sick of it, so I put it on my garage sale out on the shelf for like a couple of bucks, and this lady came over and she's taking pictures of this, and she looked at me and she's like, "Where did you find this?" And I'm like, "Oh, I just made it," and she thought it was an actual plant. I'm not quite sure why. It looked pretty dead. I mean, if you look at these, they're not, it wasn't in water or anything, and the cotton plants are a real plant, so I wasn't sure how to take that, but yeah, she actually thought they were some rare dried plant, I guess. I don't know, she was sending pictures to her friend who, I don't know, I guess he's a farmer or something, I don't know, but yeah, they're actually kind of neat things. You know, if you like decorating, they're actually a really cool fallish like decoration. I just decided to do them now because they fit in with my last couple live videos. So I'll just get back to this here. Move this out of my way. Everything sticks together when I'm doing these. I constantly have a mess when I'm trying to do this, and I'm not a neat person. So let's see here. All right, so I'm going to grab another pine cone petal, 2 of them, and I'm going to show you guys how I do them both at the same time so you're not wasting as much hot glue too. All right, so that's how they need to look on your twig, stick, whatever you want to call it. So remember, you want the nice side out, the nice side out, and they're both going to kind of make that C shape on both sides. Okay, so I'm just going to hold them the opposite way, swap them up and down there, and add a little bit of glue. Good. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to kind of just pinch the bottom of that together. And then that's your little open mouth again, just like that. Kind of remind me of like a Pringle. Like, did you ever see that Pringle commercial where they stick them in and they look like a duck? That's what it reminds me of. That's how my brain works. I don't know. Hi, Joss. All right. Good. All right, so that's how you're gonna do that there. That one looks good. And you're gonna get those little strands of glue. I'm just gonna kind of remove that. Good. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do another one. And it's easy. After you do like the first one, you kind of figure out your own way to put them on there. It's whatever's easiest for you guys. I'm just gonna shorten that a little bit. And like I said, these ones don't have, like if you look these up, they're kind of almost just a thicker stick with not as many little branches off of it. But like I said, this is kind of what I had to work with. It's kind of out of my yard here. So it gives you an idea at least how to make them. So you can go out and get whatever type of thickness of a branch. I don't care how big you want to make them, how small. You can kind of leave that up to yourself. You know, whatever, you know, would fit with your decor is what you can go off of. Let's see here. I know, sorry, it looks like I'm hiding in like the tree here real quick. Let's see, got some comments. Yeah, you could all move in with me. My house is really, really small, Jess, but, you know, sure, more the merrier. Actually, I really don't have, oh, I know this sounds funny, as much crafting and stuff that I flip and redo. I really don't have a lot around my house. I think it's one of those things where it's like, it's fun, and then like for my own personal stuff, I like don't have time for it. So the wall behind me is about as fancy and decorative as I get right now, just because I have so much more stuff going on. You know, redoing furniture for everybody else and always doing these videos and stuff. I guess I have the stuff from the videos, but that's about it. All right, so I'm just going to continue here on doing this, and I'll try to keep up with the comments. It's kind of hard for me to see, so please, if you comment, just give me like a minute or two to answer here. All right, so I'm just going to do my next one. And once again, I'm just going to glue them like that. Same way I did the last one. I'm doing two at once here so I don't waste as much hot glue. All right, just like that. I think it's a little mouth again. And I'm just going to hold it there until it dries. Apparently I'm losing my voice again tonight, so if I lose it, I'm sorry. Start sign language or something. All right, so that one looks good. So I have 3 so far on there, and I'm just going to kind of move up to this one. I'm going to break this one off a little bit. Move this up so you guys can kind of see here. There we go. All right. All right, so I'll show you again just in case somebody else joined me here. So you're going to want your little pine cone petals to kind of go on like that, okay? The nice side out, all right, making your little mouth there. So what I do is I just grab the opposite side, roll them over like that, and then I put my little bit of hot glue in between them, just like that, and then I just pinch them on wherever I want them, just like that. Pretty easy. I'm actually doing a pretty good job without making a mess tonight. Usually it's scary with these. Alright. Okay, so it looks like it's pretty dry. Alright, I'll kind of show you guys how to put one in the middle of like a V. Because I think those look really, really pretty. Just not at all the ends. You can actually throw them in at the middle here of your little plant, I guess. Those are driving me nuts. Okay. So now this, you will have to do one at a time. That's the easiest way to do it. I hope you guys can see that okay. There we go. All right, so I'll do the one behind it first just to make it easier. So you're going to get your little petal, remember, the nice side out, okay? And you're going to put the glue right on that surface just like you have been doing. And then that's when you're going to glue it right here. I'm just going to get my finger, and hot glue kind of went everywhere. I probably have no fingerprints left after this. And I'm just going to hold that on there until it's dry. There we go, that looks pretty good. Alright, same with the other side. Of course, the nice side out. So I'm going to put the glue on the inside. Again. There, and then I'm going to kind of flip it here so you guys can see, and then I'm just going to squeeze. So that's right on your V there. You're just kind of doing opposite sides. Move that out of the way. There we go. Just like that. This one's pretty simple, this project. You know, after I show you once, you're probably like, okay, that's enough. I get it now. I can go do it on my own. But just because this is a live video, I am just going to make this whole one That way if anybody new joins and has any questions, I can just kind of answer them as we go here. Alright, so that is done. I'm going to move up to this branch here. I'll probably put another one here on the middle. I'll do this one, and then I'll go back and show you guys how to finish these. That way, you know, since this is already the easy part, you'll kind of just know what to do. You don't need to watch the rest of the video and be bored by me filling all this out. So I'll do that here after I get this one last bloom on here. Need more little pine cone petals. Okay. Okay, there's that one. And that one. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to come back over here and I'll show you guys how to fill in these. It's pretty much common sense. This was the hardest part of the whole project. So now this is where your cotton comes in handy. You'll get your little cotton ball. Move this out of the way here. And you're just going, you don't need a lot. That's why you can make a lot of these with little, not a lot of stuff here. So I'm just going to kind of pull this apart, and that is plenty for one little bloom. So I'm just going to kind of squish it in between my fingers, shape it just a little bit there, okay? Not terribly compact, but enough, okay? So that's where you're going to, I'll actually do it on this one here since this one's from, where is that? There it is, okay. Since it's pretty close to the video here. All right, good. Okay, so I'm going to get a tiny bit of hot glue, and I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue inside of here. You don't need a lot at all. Don't overfill it. You just need a dot. And then you're going to get your little cotton puff that you just ripped off there, and you're going to put it in there, okay? Now after that hot glue dries, you're going to kind of pull it a little bit and fluff it up. It'll expand a little bit and it'll look realer. Just in, you know, that way it doesn't look like you just shoved some cotton in there, okay? So I'm going to kind of just puff that out a little bit. It's hard for me to see back here, but give you guys an idea. Alright, so there's your one little bloom, okay? Alright, and I'll just work my way up here. I'll do a couple more of these, that way you guys can kind of see. So I just need, man, I'm not good with these cotton balls today. So I just need a little bit more here. I'm going to grab, this one's a bigger one, it's more open. So I am going to grab a little bit more here, and I'm just going to flatten it in between my fingers a little bit, just like that. And I'm going to get my hot glue again, and I'm going to add it right there. Trying to get it right in the middle. Just a tiny little bit of drip there, and I'm going to put that down in there. There we go. That one actually doesn't look too bad. Okay. So that one there is done. Good. Alright, I have a couple here. I'm going to do this one next. So once again, just going to need your little cotton ball. You're going to pull a little bit out of there. This one's pretty wide too, so I'm going to pull a little bit. There we go. Bumble it up again. And add a little drop here. Good. And you're just going to put your little bit of cotton right inside of there. Perfect. Alright, so you can kind of see how it's forming. The white little pieces of cotton make it look nice and bright, gives it a pop. I never tried putting color in these. That's up to you guys. I did think of that today when I was getting ready for this video. I'm like, oh, there's no reason they couldn't like dye the cotton balls and make a pop of color. You know, if you don't want the realistic look, if you just want something with a little bit of color, there's no, you know, reason why you couldn't probably soak the cotton balls in like food coloring or paint, like, you know, just put a little bit of paint on them or anything you want to do like that. If you want a pop of color with them, there's no reason you can't do that. So there's that. I'm just going to do this end one. It's kind of just hanging here. I don't even know if you guys can really see that one. This one's pretty open too, so I'm going to use a pretty big piece of cotton to fill that. That way it has some stuff out of it. There we go. That one there's pretty big. And what I like about pine cones, like when I'm doing this, the top, the very top of these, if you ever look at a pine cone, let me see if I can find one here. Okay, so this is a perfect example. If you look at a pine cone without tearing anything off of it, these ones at the very top are really tiny. I did tear my other ones out earlier today, and they're just really, really tiny. So if you're doing one and you want really tiny little cotton blooms, you can use just the very top couple rows of the pine cone. That'll actually make it littler. As you can see, that size difference is huge. So, you know, the bigger ones, they would look good if you're doing like a bigger, thicker branch or limb, and the little ones would probably have looked better on this, just because if you look, the little branches on these are really tiny. But, you know, mix them in. You can do anything that you want. Sorry, I'm losing my voice again. So I'm going to keep going making this. If anybody has any questions, if you're just joining or anything, and you kind of want to know what's going on, you see this but you're not quite sure, just ask. I'll answer pretty much anything. So I do need a couple more of these, so I'm just going to keep going with my pine cone. You'll need to peel these little petals off. So I'm going to start there. Now this one here, this is a good example here. This one here is kind of breaking instead of peeling. So that one's probably not going to be that great to use. I wouldn't use one that looks like that. So I'm just going to start here with another one and just break it off. You get the whole petal. Hi Lori, welcome to the video. We are making the cotton bloom plants today. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to kind of show you how to make one. I did have a couple more people join, so I'm going to kind of go back a little bit. No, Paula, I didn't bake anything. Nope. These are just dried pine cones. I just pulled them. I have a little collection of pine cones out on my sun porch, and I just pulled one for tonight to do these. Now they have been sitting for a while, so they are kind of, you know, how pine cones get. They kind of crumble after a while. But this one here is still intact, so it's a good one. Yeah, Jen, that's a good idea. Coffee would look good on these. That's a really good idea. I know I said about adding maybe like food coloring or something to these to give them a pop of color if you're a more colorful person. I am not, so a lot of my stuff doesn't have really colorful stuff, but coffee would be great. Yeah, you could soak the cotton balls in the coffee, let them dry. It'll give them more of a cream color instead of the white. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so for you who just joined me, I'm just going to kind of go over this again. I figured I'd have a couple more people. So you'll just need your tree branch from anywhere, backyard, woods, anywhere. You'll need your hot glue gun, about a glue stick, and a pine cone, and what's about, oh, and a cotton ball. You'll need a cotton ball as well. Okay, so back to this, I'm just using the petals off of the pine cone that I had showed you. You want the good side facing out. So you can always tell by the pine cone, it has the light brown and then the dark brown. That's your outside. The inside is kind of just the regular, boring pine cone look there. Okay, So you're gonna get your hot glue gun after you have this, little twig here available. I will do, let me see here. I'll do this one over here. So I'm gonna put one right here. So you're going to need your hot glue gun. You're going to put the hot glue on the inside of that one little pine cone petal. Just a tiny bit of a dab there. You don't need a lot. And then you're going to, maybe if I can rotate that so you guys can see it, you're just going to push it onto your branch there. I guess branch is a better word to use than twig. I think I've been using twig and stick, so I'll just start using branch. It sounds a little bit better. But yep, you just hold that on there until it's glued, okay? And then you'll get your other little petal from your pine cone, your second one. Okay, remember, good side out and inside. Okay, so you're gonna put another little dot of glue on there, and you're just going to join it right at the bottom here of that last one, and it's gonna look like a little open mouth. There you go. And just hold it until it dries. Pretty good. Hot glue, love it. Dries really quick. Alright, any little strands can be removed. Perfect. Okay. And I'm going to do another one. I think you guys can see here. Where am I? Oh no, that's a little high there. Okay, I'm going to take this out of here. Alright, so I'm going to do another one right here. I'm just going to break this off. This is really flimsy, and that'll just break off anyway, so I'm just going to break it off of there. And this is where I'm going to do another one. So inside the pine cone petal, a little bit of glue. Perfect. And you're just going to place that right on there. So you don't glue your finger like I've done about 1 billion times. Okay. And I'm going to hold that there. Good. And then you're just going to need your other pine cone petal here. I'm just going to kind of do it this way, just so you guys can kind of see me holding it here. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. Maybe. I can't really see what I'm doing. There we go. I think I got it. No, I didn't. Okay, there we go. Now I got it. And I'm just going to put that one on there as well. Hopefully this one sticks. It might not stick. Let me see. My lighting is terrible in my dining room. That's why I'm doing this. Sorry. Okay, so you got your little open mouth there. And of course I went a little bit crazy with the hot glue. Alright. Looks good. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of... Oh, see, stuck to my finger. Oh, that one did not stick. Let me fix it. This branch just does not want to cooperate with me. I was doing good. I think it's the way that this little branch is shaped. I should have broke more off of it. It's kind of almost like right at where something was going to bud on it. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we're all fixed up. Now I'll go back and clean that glue off of there in a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to put this back in here, hopefully, maybe. Okay. So the ones that you just joined, you kind of know how to put those little buds on. I'm just going to lift this up. There we go. So now it is time to put the little pieces of cotton in there. So these are your little blooms on here. So now we need to fill them with cotton just like the rest of them are here. So to do that, pretty easy. You're just going to get your cotton ball. And this one's pretty wide, so you kind of want it filled pretty good. So you're just going to get your little cotton ball and you're going to pull a little piece off of it. About that, looks good. And I'm just going to kind of mush it together in between my fingers here. And I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue. I'll add it to both sides of these petals here because it's such a wide bloom. Okay. And then I'm just going to take that little piece of cotton and put it right in there. And then after it's dry, you can go back and kind of pull them apart a little bit, make them look fluffier. I would just wait until it's dry so you're not pulling that cotton and the glue all at the same time, and then you're just going to have a mess like I did. I had like cotton glued to all my fingers, and it was a disaster. So, all right, so there's that one. And I'm going to move over to this one here. Same thing. Pull a little piece of cotton here off of this. Okay. Just like that. This one's a little smaller. So I'm going to kind of bundle it up a little bit more here. There you go. You get your cotton, have it ready. And that's when you're going to add a little bit of hot glue right in the middle of there. And you're just going to kind of drop your cotton down in there. Up, see? Got it stuck to my finger there on that one. There we go. Just like that. These are time consuming and messy, but they're kind of fun actually. You know, you get something really pretty out of something that cost you not even like $1 to make. So it's kind of neat. And there's those. And I'm just going to finish the couple that I have up here. Okay. I'm just going to grab another piece of cotton here, have it ready. These are smaller ones. I'll bend it towards the camera so you can kind of see. This one's a good one. I'm just going to fill it up here with a little bit of hot glue. There we go. And grab my cotton. And I'm just going to stuff it in there. I probably took too much cotton actually. But it still looks good. Okay. There we go. And you can see how like cool these actually look. Like, I don't know if you guys ever actually saw a cotton plant before, but they're not perfect. They're cotton's kind of falling out of them, and they look really pretty. I've always wanted to use them for decorations, and I've tried drying them and stuff, but it just never worked. They kind of made a mess everywhere. So this was the easiest way for me to use them. You know, they are available to buy like at Michael's and stuff. And you know, if you have a coupon, it's worth it. You know, if you don't want to sit here and take the time to make them and make a mess, but this is the simplest way, and practically everything that I'm using is free other than the glue stick and the cotton balls, which you can buy like 150 pack at the dollar store for $1 for cotton balls. So yeah, and if you look real closely, they look pretty real. I mean, you are using real stuff. Like, it's not just, you know, plastic. It's actual pine cones and an actual stick. So, oh, thanks, Lori. Just another neat thing I figured I'd share with you guys. It's pretty cool. Alright, so I'll fill this one up too. Let me just move this up a little bit. There you go. Alright. So I'm just going to keep doing this until this one's all made, and then I'll log off. I hate when I log on and show you guys how to do something real quick and then log off. Like, what's the point? What's the point of being live, right? So I'm just going to fill that one with a little bit of glue again. There we go. Oh, got my cord stuck there. Hopefully this glue didn't dry. There we go. Yeah, awesome. That one's in there. It is, Lori. It is really calming. I struggle with anxiety and depression, so this is kind of how I get away from all of that, is my crafting, my painting and everything, and it's fun. It gets me kind of off of thinking about, you know, my day or what happened or anything with my anxiety. So I come home and my husband knows if it's a bad day, I'm upstairs painting for about 5 hours. But yeah, it's calming. It's just repetitive. You don't think about it, you just kind of do. So it is, it's really calming. All right, and I'm just gonna kind of throw a couple more on here. There we go. All right, I'm gonna break a couple of these off. I'm just gonna show you guys, just in case you just joined, of how the easiest way to take your pinecone petals off is just to start at the very top, and you want to find one that's not being overlapped, like this one here. I wouldn't do this one because this one's overlapping this one. So you're just going to take it and you're just going to pull it. Maybe. Watch this one break since I'm showing you. I know. There we go. We got it. And it takes it right off of the middle. You get the whole petal. There we go. Just like that. Let's see. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Paula. That's awesome. Going to use them in wreaths. I am making 100. That's awesome. That's awesome. Wow, 140. Woo! That's awesome. Well, I hope these work for you. Definitely. Yeah, no problem, Lori. You know, I enjoy it as much as you guys do. It's nice. It gives me something to look forward to. My husband travels 6 months out of the year. He goes away for 3 months and goes away for 3 months again after. So this is kind of nice. I'm not lonely. I'm not sitting here. I'm actually talking and teaching. So it's fun. It's nice. All right. So I'm gonna add another one here. I'm just gonna go to the top of this. If you guys can see, I'm gonna move my camera up a little bit. You're not gonna be able to really see my face, but that doesn't really matter right now. Okay, so I'm going to add right there on that little petal again. If you're just joining, this is how we're making these. Oh, I put a lot on there. That's okay. I will actually do 2 at once here. I'm going to stand up. So I'm just going to kind of combine those at the very top of there. Remember, oh, nope, my twig broke. My stick. My stick. That's what I was going with, not twig. There we go. I still think it's fixable. There we go. Glue didn't dry yet, so that worked. But yep, open side. I want to make sure that mouth is there. Good. Move out this way. And move it up a little bit so you guys can kind of see the next one here. So I am going to do one at the very top here. I'm going to break this off a little bit though, because if not, it'll just end up it won't be supporting that little bloom that I'm going to put up there. So I don't know what the best way. I'll probably see it like that. There we go. Okay. So pine cone, I'm just going to put a little one up there that way because it's at the tippity top of that. So once again, you're going to want your bloom, remember, nice side of the pine cone out. There we go. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on the inside. I just kind of reversed that, turned it upside down and pinched it. So that's where I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue. There we go. And I'm just going to pinch it right onto that little branch, maybe, if I can get it. I'm just not having any luck tonight with these. Okay, there we go. And I'm just going to hold that there for a couple of seconds until that glue dries. There we go. Okay. So now I'm just going to go back and take all my little strands of hot glue off of this because they're driving me nuts. Okay, there's that. All right. And let me see if I can twist this. We'll do a couple more here. It's hard to see kind of where I have this. My wall color and then my skin and everything kind of blends all in together. Okay, there we go. I'll break that off of there because once again it's going to be too flimsy there. And I'm going to add another little bloom. So same thing, if you want to do 2 at once, if you don't want to glue one and then glue the other, I'll kind of go over this way of doing this again. So that's how they look when you glue them on. Your outside is there and your other outside is there. So you're pinching them how you're gluing them on. So I'm going to take this because we want it reversed until we get the glue in, and you're just going to hold it like that. And of course I have strands because this thing's messy. Okay. And then I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue in there. Perfect. And I'm just going to put it right over top of where I want it and then just pinch the bottom. Okay? Just be careful. If your hot glue gun is really hot, you'll burn yourself doing this. So just be careful, please. All right. Good. And just like that, it's a little open mouth again. So we're going to put your little cotton. Oh, thanks, Jan. Yeah, I have one in the background right now. It's kind of hidden behind me somewhere. There it is. But, yeah, it's up. I'll take you guys over real quick to see it again. I did show it at the beginning, but you might have missed it. But yeah, that's what it looks like when it's finished. I did a couple different limbs there just to have it for decoration for you guys, so you can kind of see how it looks. But yeah, they last a pretty long time, and the nice thing about them is if they get destroyed, or you know, like my dog, she likes chewing on things sometimes, so if she gets a hold of them, I didn't spend any money on them. They're just pitchable. You can remake them. That's one nice thing. You don't have to worry about rebuying or spending a lot of money or anything. And then these were the twine wrap bottles, of course, that I made in the last video. So there is a tutorial on those too. But yep, that's them. Take you guys back over here. Sorry, probably making you dizzy by moving the camera all around. There we go. Okay. So I'll fill those couple ones that I just did with some cotton here. Oh, my camera holder is not doing good. Okay. I hot glued it together because I broke it earlier. So if my phone all of a sudden goes crash into the ground, you guys will know that my hot glue did not stand up to it. Here it's kind of moving. Okay, there we go. All right. So plug you back in because my phone was about dead. As this little piece of tree goes like up my nose. There we go. Okay. Got it. All right. So I'll fill these here a couple if you just join me and you're kind of like, what's going on? I'll kind of show you how to do that real quick. So once again, you'll just need your little bit of cotton. Okay. And you're just going to kind of pull a little piece off of it. You don't need a lot, and you're just going to hold it between your fingers here a little bit. And you're going to place a little dot, tiny dot of hot glue in there, in between those two little petals, and then that's where you're going to just push that cotton right in there. This actually piece was a little too big for there, but I think it'll be okay. There we go. All right, so there's that one. And then for the other two, same thing. I'm just gonna grab that and pull that out again. Wrap it between my fingers. And we'll do this one here. Oh, I definitely just broke one of those off. That's okay. I'm gonna keep going anyway. All right, and I'm just going to put a little dot in between there. I can feel this limb breaking also. And I'm gonna put that right in there. Good. All right, so I did break one off. If that happens to you, I just broke that off because that little piece was very little, and it must have not have held it very well. So what you can do, instead of just pitching this, you can actually kind of just break that off where it was. And this is a good one to kind of use like right on like a V or anywhere it's easy to kind of glue right on there. So it's kind of nice that that happened. I can kind of show you guys how to do that too. So you're just going to add a little bit of glue there, and you're just going to hot glue it. It's pretty simple, right? Not too hard, I don't think. All right, so that's on there now. And then I'll just fill that one with cotton also. So my branch is getting pretty filled up with them. I might do like one or two more here and then call it for this little branch. Just do this real quick. Put that in there. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna break this off. And I told you guys, at the beginning, I'll probably break more limbs off of this thing just because if you look these up, they're on thicker, bigger limbs, and they're not as many broken tiny little ones, but this is kind of what I had to work with, just to show you guys, get the general idea. Okay, so I'm gonna add another one right here. I had a couple made up here. I don't know what I did with them. All right, let me just use these little ones. All right, so same thing. I'm gonna glue both of those on there at the same time. Here we go. And put one right here. I'm just gonna pinch it right around where I want it and hold it until it dries. Good. I actually think that looks pretty good. I don't really want to add much more, or else it'll just look overwhelming, I think. All right, so I'm just gonna fill that one with a little bit of cotton. Good. Put that in there. If you guys ever browse through my page and there's something that you want to see made, please just tell me, message me. I am looking for more things to do the live videos on. I have a whole bunch in mind, but I want to do what everybody wants to see. So if you're hopping through my page and you're like, oh, I would really like to know how to make that, or how did you do that, please let me know. Just send me a message, screenshot it and send me a message. That way I kind of know what you're talking about, and then I can actually put that on my list to go live about. That way, you know, you're gonna see what you want to see. It's not just like, oh, what's she doing today? It might be something to look forward to. So this is pretty much done. It was a pretty easy project, so didn't take too much time. Took my time on it so that way my viewers could actually have time to get on here and see it. But yeah, that's it. Easy, almost free, other than the little cotton balls and glue sticks. But that's about it. They make awesome decorations. So if you have a farm style home, or the rustic, or whatever you want to call it, or know of somebody who does, and you know they have a birthday coming up or something, this is a good easy little gift that you can give them. Lori, they're kind of random. They're pretty much when I'm bored. Sometimes I'll log on if I'm like painting. Like the other night I did the dresser. I kind of just logged on. I was like, well, if I'm doing it anyway, I might as well just do it in front of the camera. That way you guys can kind of see how I paint things and the little different steps that I do. So those are random, but if I'm actually making something like this, or like the coffee filter flowers, or the twine wrap bottles, I will post it on my Facebook. So if you go to my page, and I think it's like either follow or like, I'm not quite sure which one does what, but if you hit both of those, you'll definitely get like my posts. That's when I'll kind of alert you guys. Like I'll never just go randomly live with something like this. I'll schedule it, and you'll see me kind of post like, hey, going live tonight at 5:30, or going live Thursday at 5:30. To make these, and it'll be a picture of what I'm making. So yeah, that kind of stuff I give you a heads up on, but the random videos, that's more of like I come home after work and I'm like, oh, I'll just paint this tonight, and that's when I kind of log on and just do the random ones. But yeah, the actual things that I'm making, you'll get a heads up if you like and follow my page, definitely. Yeah. So that's done. I'm trying to think of a next one I can do with you guys. I know I'm doing the cross on March 19th, I think. I posted it in my last video. I don't remember. So that one I am doing. Actually, let me go grab that real quick so you guys can see, because I don't know if you guys were on my last video viewing or not, but let me go grab that. Hang on one second. Okay, so I had to run upstairs, but this here is one of the bigger projects I'll be going live with on here. So, you know, if you're interested in making this, I'm going to do it from scratch. So this will probably be a long video, a couple hours, because each one of these is nails, and then you have the string art, and then I do this on the Cricut. So please join me for this one if you want to learn how to make something a little bit more detailed. The stuff that I have been posting has been pretty easy. This is a little bit more involved. So this is March 19th at like 3, I think, 3:30. I'm not sure, but I'll definitely post just like a message about that one. That way you guys know for sure. So that's what's coming up next so far. I don't have anything else scheduled, but I'm sure I'll be doing something between now and then, definitely. Thanks, Lori. And you're welcome, Jan, anytime. But I am going to log off. I am kind of losing my voice tonight. So, and I got to be good for tomorrow for work. So, you know, if you guys have any questions, if you're a viewer viewing this later, please just leave your comment, message me if you have any questions about this. This is pretty easy project. So but feel free to reach out if you need to. All right, you guys, thank you so much for listening and viewing. I really appreciate it. Good night.